on this broadcast. Once again, this beautiful Monday morning. We want to quickly share some very important informations in this broadcast. Now, please, I want to urge you first and foremost to like our page um, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's going to go a long way to to support us and to continue to help us to be able to reach out to you with wonderful informations. Now, so let's go right into what we have this morning. Um, there has been a lot of issues between China uh, and the US recently. We have seen, the US government or the US military shooting down in a row three unidentified objects, or what they call balloons, uh, over the US and Canadian airspace. Now, these issues, these things that are happening are not unconnected with the ground game between China's preparation to invade Taiwan. When you look at what is happening in Ukraine versus Russia, and you see the role America, the United States of America, is playing, sometimes some people wonder, why is the US government, you know, or the Western countries, or what people would like to also call the US and its allies, playing the role that they are playing in Ukraine against Russia. Now, there is known as the international order. Now, that international order is being, preserved, protected, by the United States. And that is why most times they refer to them as the policeman, the police country of the world. Whether rightly or wrongly, I want to, belong to the school of thought that thinks or that believes that if the United States government and its people are not playing the role that they are playing in the world today, we would have a situation where we have what is happening in Ukraine becoming more egregious, becoming more, difficult to manage. Can you imagine? Even in countries such as Nigeria, we are crying about marginalization. What is marginalization? It is a situation whereby um, a certain group of people, um, because of their, uh, relative superiority, or because of their relative uh, dominance, or because of their relative positioning in terms of power, in terms of military power, in terms of economic power, you know, they seem to lord it over other parts of the country, supposedly. Supposedly. Now, we have also seen a scenario where we have military personnel taking up arms against the government of the day in what is now known in the French language as a coup d'etat. Now, let us now move it a bit, scale it a bit, um, higher, scale it outside the box, outside of the country environment into the continental environment. So you see, for instance, in Africa, in West Africa, Nigeria is considered as the big brother. Now, we are considered as big brother not because of our beauty, not because of the beautiful topographies that we have, not because of the beautiful people that Nigeria have, or Nigerians are, but rather because of the size, the sheer size of our numbers, and because of the sheer size of our military, and some other, you know, realities that gives us dominance over some of the neighboring countries, for instance, like Niger Republic. So imagine if the international order is not in order. So you can have a situation whereby a Nigerian president can mobilize Nigerians and say, look, we need to take over Niger Republic. For instance, the President Buhari, not too long ago, constructed, uh, you know, um, a railway line from Katsina to Niger Republic. Now, if the international order is not in order, if we are not in good relationship with Niger Republic, that railway line that you see could have been a railway line that leads Nigerian military to take over the nation of Niger Republic. And nobody will say anything about it. And that will bring the world back into what the sociologists call brutish, and that the world, humanity has become brutish and selfish, where all man is for himself and the might becomes, the order of the day. That is to say, where people are now being ruled by the might of their power. And so now let's go back now to where we started from, which is why the underlining war gamings between the United States and the Chinese. In simple terms, first, the US and allies are playing their role in Ukraine because they don't want to disrupt the international order. They want to preserve the international order whereby sovereign nations are allowed to lead their lives. Sovereign countries are not being swallowed up by superior sovereign countries, by warmongering sovereign countries. And so now there could be other arguments here and there that the United States also in the past has interfered in the affairs of other countries. Now that is, out there for historians to judge whether what they did was right or wrong. But for us in this age and time, do we think that Russia invasion of Ukraine is something that we should allow to continue to happen? In whatever guise, in whatever reason that anybody may adduce. Okay? Now, so let us now move up from there. We now see, and we can all agree, that invasion of another country by another sovereign country should not be allowed to stand. And that is where the United States and allies now, came in and said, look, we will not allow the Russians to win this war. Because if Russians wins the war in Ukraine, if Russians are allowed to topple the government in Ukraine, if Russians are allowed to seize a sizable portion of the Ukrainians' land, then it becomes an example for other bigger nations like China to now take in their stead. It becomes, a launch pad for China to quickly, grab Taiwan. Because don't forget, in the course of history, we have seen, now, rightly or wrongly, there are a lot of commonalities between the Chinese and the Taiwanese. And China has always claimed that Taiwan is part of the mainland China. But the Taiwanese people don't really, at least majority of them, based on the recent pollings that was conducted, majority of them don't seem to agree with that, and therefore they prefer to stay as their own country and not to be part of China. A lot of geopolitical positioning has happened. Taiwanese over the years also started, because of these underlying issues between China and Taiwan, the Taiwanese has continued to sort for, relationships across, different continents of the world, with the United States being their major partner. And as a result, the US also have a policy around China. I mean, around Taiwan, vis-a-vis their relationship with China. And so in recent days, China, because of the current president and his desire to continue to also enjoy the confidence of the Chinese, has increased his willingness, through a statement. He even made it through a statement. He has increased his willingness to acquires, to take back Taiwan to become part of the mainland China, either by peaceful means or any other means. That was his statement. And so this prompted a lot of activities, between the Chinese, the Taiwanese, and the United States. And because Taiwan cannot compare with United States, Chinese, in terms of military might, in terms of economic might. And so what then happens when they have insisted that they will not go back to mainland China as part of China? And so this is where our broadcast for today, because we're trying to give a background of why we are doing this broadcast, because the essence of this broadcast is to tell you that giving back is a necessity for humanity. So at whatever point you are in your life, it is critical that you make attempt to give back to society, to give back to community. That is the essence of this broadcast. And again, don't forget to like our page and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And so what is giving back in this broadcast? Because of the growing tension between China and Taiwan, the Taiwanese are preparing, for eventual invasion of their land by China. But because they don't have the capacity militarily to withstand China, one of their billionaires, stepped up into the game and decided to train a civilian army. He decided to train a civilian army and even pledged to donate the total sum of $32 million to help counter China's defense might. Okay? Now, in a ceremony that was well publicized before now, this billionaire in the name of Robert Sau, donned a a Taiwan identity card, demonstrating his pride in being Taiwanese a citizen and not a Chinese citizen. He declared that he wants to train a seventh of the country's 23.5 million population within 3 years. Within 3 years, including 300,000 sharpshooters. 300,000 sharpshooters. Now, why is he doing that? Because he wants to, be a part of the solution. He wants to participate, in ensuring that he contributes his quota in preparing his country, to be able to battle the Chinese. So I don't know where you are as we speak in your journey. All right? I don't know where you are in your journey. But the truth is, we all must come to the point that we decide on what we are giving back to society. You cannot be aloof, in times that your people need you. You cannot be aloof. And there is something that we all must understand. There is something that we can give. For those that used to think that they don't have anything to give, you have something to give. There is something that you have to give. What is critical first and foremost is your mindset. Do you have the mind to be part of the solution, or you just want to be on the fence? You just want to be on the fence. And so this brings us to another critical aspect of this broadcast today. We know that in Nigeria and Africa in general, we are having gamut of challenges, gamut of problems, particularly as it has to do with youth unemployment, lack of infrastructure. And that is why we are also kicking off our program tomorrow, what we call the Recruit Nigerian Group. And if you have not registered for that program, I urge you to do so for your own good, either as a mentor, that is desirous of learning from those that have gone ahead of us, or for you that is, you know, as a mentee, either as a mentee to learn from those that have gone ahead of us, or for you that is a mentor that have gone ahead of many and things that you can offer something back to those that are coming behind. This is an opportunity for you to be able to do that. And so we want to have your details. Contact us on any of the handle that you are watching this broadcast from. I will be glad to reach out to you and have your details included in the coming program, which is officially kicking off by tomorrow. And as a follow-up to that program tomorrow, don't forget we have also uh, informed you that we'll be uh, having a program. You know, we'll be having a program on March the 4th at the Stanford Hotel in Cuba. The program is called Startup Showers Entrepreneurs Party, because we understand that every entrepreneur uh, should have a family. Every entrepreneur should have a family. Every founder should have a family. So this program is creating families for entrepreneurs. Um, it's providing a platform for you as an entrepreneur to tap into your personal family network and the family network of the Startup Showers International. Startup Showers International is designed to bring about um, continuous um, support system, social, financial, and otherwise for entrepreneurs. What do we mean by that? That is, because we know that giving birth to children, can be very, very interesting. And so, because of that, people used to have these baby showers where, friends and families come together to shower the parents of the forthcoming baby, of the upcoming baby, with gifts. And so, we are also in that same model, preparing or providing entrepreneurs the opportunity for them to be able to, uh, you know, to be able to receive gifts from families and friends, from their personal families and friends, and from the families and friends of the Startup International Network. Um, and so the first event is coming on the March of 4th. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a founder of a business, don't miss it. Take advantage of this opportunity to create a family for yourself, because giving birth to a child is the same as giving birth to an idea. It takes a lot of emotions, it takes a lot of demands. And so we are taking that same model to provide opportunity for entrepreneurs to be celebrated. So in the Startup Showers Entrepreneurs Party, we'll have opportunity to launch business ideas for those that will be registering ahead of the date that you want to launch your business idea. Just chat us up and we'll make that provision for you. Um, Create a platform for you to launch your business or launch your idea to the world. And the program, the event will also feature giving of gifts, to those that will be launching their ideas in the course of that program, to feature giving of gifts. Then uh, also it will provide us the opportunity to to um, have some form of sit out environment, where you are able to have some drinks, have some food, some chewings here and there. And above that, it provides us an opportunity to introduce a game into the startup community. We are bringing a game that we call the Stang Games. The Stang Games is the first of its kind. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I watched the UFC, the fight game, UFC, or any other fight game, the mixed martial arts, boxing, and all that. This is coming in that fold. It's a game that is designed to come in that fold with a lot of graphics representation in the course of the game, a lot of, you know, um, lessons to be learned in the course of the game, and of course, a lot of prizes to be won in the course of the game as well. So, should you want to participate in the game, you're also expected to reach out to us, you know, on time before the date of the program, so that we can, prepare you and give you further information about the game, the stand game, the first of its kind. It's going global. It's going global. And so I will be very happy if you will be the first person that will participate in the game. Now, back to the real essence of this broadcast. Remember, we're talking about the essence of giving back to society. Because as an entrepreneur, we know you are putting so much. We also know that the society have given you so much, because it is from the society that your consumers or customers or clientele emanates from. And so, based on our understanding of life, based on our understanding of nature, nature relishes in giving. And it is in giving that nature derives its refurbishment. It's in giving that nature derives its refurbishment. And so we believe that it is also in giving that you, as an entrepreneur, will be able to also refurbish your creative abilities, your creative capabilities. Okay, and that is why we are bringing this broadcast to you. And so we want to show you an example of, those persons that have, you know, been able to take advantage of this lesson in giving back to society. And we want to start with, the likes of Tony Elumelu. You know, um, this person, of course, not because he's from Nigeria that we're starting with him, but his work in terms of how he has been able to give back to society, um, as it really, really affects the society. Don't forget, I started by saying that, Africa have a problem of unemployment. And that is the vision of Tony Elumelu. You know, after he left the United Bank for Africa in 2010, he set up what is known as Tony Elumelu Foundation. You know, and with that, he has really been pioneering new grounds, new frontiers in terms of introducing programs that can empower the youth. And so through the program, what they call the Tinelumelu Entrepreneurship Program, he has committed $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. Are you getting that now? a next generation of African entrepreneurs. Now, it's not just doing this in Nigeria. And many of us must have seen, um, videos and even testimonies, individuals around us that have benefited, from this program. I was shocked. Last week I was in my office, and you know, um, a lady walked up to me, and she had actually called me in one or two occasions, and she needed to see me and all that. She wanted to discuss, business with me. And, by the time she came and we were discussing business, she just referred to the fact that she was, or that she is, a Tony, uh, uh, a Tony Lumelu entrepreneur. I was shocked, you know, to be able, because I've been hearing what they're doing, but I've not physically seen, any of those beneficiaries. And so seeing that lady in front of me makes the reality of what this man is doing to dawn on me, and which informed this discourse that we need to celebrate, people like that, because if he has been able to empower this lady, how much, impact, he has created in others that he has empowered across Africa, and that is what we're talking about. If you can do one, that is a good place to start. And so the next person I want to also celebrate by reason of this broadcast is Mo Ibrahim. Mo Ibrahim. Now, not many times we hear about Sudanese, or rather, not even many times we hear about good stories from Sudan. But behold, Mo Ibrahim, who is a Sudanese billionaire, uh, and is very much into giving back. Mo Ibrahim is the founder of the mobile communication company called Celtel, one of the first mobile phone companies operated in and South Africa and the Middle East. But that is not the reason why, you know, we are really celebrating Mo Ibrahim in this broadcast. The essence is that, he understands the challenges of Africa, and that the challenge of Africa is leadership, you know. And through the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, he has set up a prize, for the best, performing president across the African continent. You know, uh, in his quest, you know, to fight against corrupt leadership uh, across the continent. Because again, if we are able to, curtail the wanton corruption in the continent, I think a lot of things will be improved in the country. And so another person I want to celebrate today is Mike Adenuga. Mike Adenuga has also been doing so much, especially with regards to the entertainment industry. You know how he has so much invested, in our entertainment industry, either through the funding of movies or the funding of our entertainers or our artists, which has so much empowered, these people, and has enabled them. One thing that all of us are celebrating today, that our entertainment industry is growing. But let me announce to you, this growth that we are experiencing, yes, it is not from government funding, it's not government sponsored, but I can tell you for free that there is no sector that grows without some level of support, without some level of funding. And I want to announce to you in this broadcast that what Mike Adenuga and some others are doing by investing, by sponsorships of our entertainers and our entertainment industry, in one way or the other, has contributed greatly to what we're enjoying today. That is why today you can look, for example, our music industry. Our music industry has so matured, that today is winning Grammys across the globe, is winning, awards across the globes. And you and I today cannot even play any other song from any other continent, as we used to do before. And today, in any party that you go, you hear of Nigerian songs, even in Nigeria and across Africa and across the world, which is a pride to every one of us. And so I want to, celebrate the likes of Mike Adenuga, for committing to investing in our entertainment industry. And lastly, for this broadcast, The next person I would like to talk about is Aliko Dangote. Through the Aliko Dangote Foundation, um, he has budgeted about $1.25 billion, uh, which he is investing in areas of education, arts, and humanitarian relief. It is projected that he has given more than $100 million in the last 5 years to these causes. Now, why I cannot really, um, uh, claim to have, feel the impact of the Aliko Dangote Foundation personally, or to even have a clear-cut direction in terms of how it has contributed in one way to shape or support any sector of the economy. I believe that there are people that have benefited from this over $100 million that he has invested, and that is one reason why we are also trying to celebrate him today. Now, the essence is to encourage them, and beyond encouraging them, to encourage you that is the entrepreneur. Don't think that you don't have something to give. You might not have the billions, the millions of dollars, to give. But hey, there is somebody beside you that needs 100 naira. There's somebody that beside you that wants to share his idea with you, for you to be able to, guide him, shape him up, and help him, to put him in the right track towards achieving that dream. Now, that is the point that we're making. In whatever situation you find yourself, always know that you are ahead of somebody, and because you're ahead of somebody, capable of giving help to somebody. On that note, I want to thank you for joining us in this broadcast. And please don't forget to share this video, like our pages, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you continue to get our inspiring videos on leadership, governance, and politics. Until we come your way again,